Okay, so now you pulled your email list and you know how to keep the email automation going. Let's do exactly the same for LinkedIn. So this is going to be how to pull LinkedIn lists that are targeted and upload them into your LinkedIn automation campaigns so we can be consistently generating more leads. So this is a start to finish guide on how to do this. There's two ways to do this. There's one recommended, which is a little bit more targeted, using Apollo, or we can use LinkedIn Sales Navigator and just use a URL from basically a search that we create. But in this video, I'll be mainly going over the recommended method, which will actually be using Apollo itself. So similar to how we get data on the email, we can get much more targeted and actually do this on Apollo as well for LinkedIn. So let's get into it. Exactly the same as if you were to start on your email list building. We start on Apollo, make sure we're adding filtering to the Apollo account so we can actually start building the market. Now, however, one thing to mention on the LinkedIn side of things is if you have a Mac, then it's important to use Chrome. Maybe if you have Windows as well, just use Chrome, because what we want to do is download this Chrome extension called Instant Data Scraper. It comes up with a little Pokemon ball and should be in the document for this training. But it's completely free. You're going to want to download this because this is going to help us build our LinkedIn lists completely for free. So let's dive into Apollo and start adding some of this filtering. So as we build this list, it's important to note that because this is on LinkedIn, this will be much more targeted, and we want to go very, very targeted, not just as broad as possible. Like email, sometimes volume is just key, but for LinkedIn, of course, you've spent goodness knows how many years building up your LinkedIn account as well. We want to make sure we're going just sniper approach here, right? Exactly the right target, so we can get the right messaging in front of them, and we'll make good stuff happen. So that's why if your list is over 2,000 contacts on this example, you'd actually want to make it more targeted so it's below. There's two reasons for that. It makes it easier to get the data as well for free from Instant Data Scraper, but also means we're appealing to a smaller audience, which means we're going to resonate with them and be more targeted if we get that script writing right. So let's go into Apollo and let's start building this list. So I'm going to build a much more targeted list myself and show you what that would look like. So for example, let's put in some CEOs again. Let's target CEOs and maybe CFOs as well. So I want to target CEO, CFO. You can target whoever you want with this, right? This is simply just an example. You go CHRO, you go HR director, HR manager, head of operations director. Whoever you feel is the right hiring manager, that's what we put the title in for. We also, of course, want to do location. This is something where we can make the list smaller as well. We can do specific locations. So let's say we want to just target Austin in Texas. Austin, Texas in location. Fantastic. And let's say we just want to reach out to industrial mechanical manufacturing engineering, right? So there's not many of these. Let's see if we can add director of operations in. Okay, building this list up. Maybe let's add a few more industries. So if we're doing like engineering, if I continue to just put manufacturing maybe. Cool. Civil engineering. Right, I'm just building this list up, because this is targeted, right? So we're going one specific location. And the reason why you'd want to do that is because you can talk about stuff that's in Austin, right? Like you can, if you wanted to, you can drop restaurants, coffee shops, names, stuff like that. Or you can say, hey, so you're based in Austin. If you're local to Austin, great. That's why you'd usually run this campaign. Hey, so you're based in Austin. We're just down the road. Do you mind if I pop in? That can also work. But for this example, that's the more targeted approach. Let's see if we can just bring it a bit wider and go United States in general. So that shows the difference, right? If we just go US wide, we've got 30,000 contacts, but if we just target one specific location, we can bring it right down. So let's, instead of that, let's just do Los Angeles area, 1.5K, right? So targeting CEOs, CFOs, and operation directors of these companies. And this is about a good sized list, right? So what we do here is I'm happy with this list. Maybe we'll exclude some specific companies. And this is what you do if you're targeting a specific area where maybe you know people there or you've got clients. There's another way we can exclude all of those, which I'll show you on the Smart Lead. But you just want to make sure you're pre-vetting all of this and just going as targeted as you can, putting the time and effort that's required into this. So once you've built that list that you're happy with, we're going to click on the Chrome extension, little Pokemon ball there. And if this is your first time using this, you'll see there's a lot of data. So effectively what this does is it just pulls data off the web page as if we were to copy and paste it ourselves anyway. So it's not going behind anything, it's just literally pulling it off the web page, but we can do this at scale. Now, what we're able to do, or what you need to do, is basically locate the next button on the page. So it will automatically press next for you. So it will scrape all this data, press next, scrape data, and just continue to do so until we've got all of our 1.5 thousand leads data on there. So I've already got this set up. What you need to do is press locate next, and you see everything you hover over goes green. And all you'd want to do is click on this little arrow we've got here and just make sure that's selected in dark green, like it is. So that's absolutely fine. What you do from here is simply press start crawling. You can see my hands are off the keyboard and it's going to start getting data for us. Okay, so we've got full name in there, we've got their LinkedIn profile, we've got their title, we've got what company they work at, we've got their company website, we've got their company LinkedIn, we've got their location, company size, industry, all of the data from Apollo. Now what you'll see is sometimes it will, if the delay is not set right, it will stop on whatever page, maybe page 6, maybe it's page 30, and all you need to do is just press start crawling again and let it do its thing. So sometimes you might need to press just start again, it's not a problem. It will still go through all of these contacts and get everything I need. In the meantime, what I do is I usually clean up the list. So all you really need for the LinkedIn automation simply is the LinkedIn URL, that's it. But for the data gathering purposes, I like to keep their company, their title, location, company website, and other stuff as well. So I'm just going to remove all the things that I think are not needed, industry, and then all of these ones here are keywords as well. We don't need any of these. So as it's scraping this, I'm just going to make sure this CSV is nice and clean. There we go. Let's remove these. And you can see already in under a minute, it's collected 550 plus, probably about 600 lines of data for us, which is great. So I'm just going to let this finish. I'm going to hit pause and I'll resume when it's done. Okay, so that took in total 160 seconds, so just over 2 minutes to get 1,500 contacts. This would save significant time on your team. Imagine if you're sourcing and building this list on LinkedIn, you're doing it manually. It's going to take a long time, right? And we've got it here in 2 minutes. So what we're going to do here is just press this download CSV button. So that's great. We've got that CSV file. Now, if we go back to the workflow that we were completing, we have saved this, we've started scraping the data, we've downloaded the CSV, and the last bit, very simply, is to upload it into our LinkedIn automation tool. So if we go into Dripify.io, if you're scaling this, which is a little bit later in the program, then we switch over to a platform called HeyReach. But to get started, we're all going to be using Dripify. This is a very robust tool. If you have any other tool that you're already actually using, then it may be slightly different, but the fundamentals will be the same. So let me just log into my Dripify account and just show you how we would upload this list. So, of course, we would get the campaigns active with the scripts that we provided and the templates and everything like that. But if we're creating a new campaign, you'd create that. Just go to here, and the first thing it asks you is to add leads. So what you do is, instead of doing a LinkedIn search, which would be the second option using SalesNav, like literally just copy and pasting the URL from the browser, we're actually going to upload a CSV file. So we're going to hit this, and hit the CSV that we've just scraped, upload this, great, we've got 1,200 contacts in total. So we're going to create that list, and we're going to upload that into the campaign. So I'm just going to walk you through start to finish how to do this. So let's just say we've got a custom campaign we want to create, and all we're going to do is maybe send an invite to someone, and if they accept, we'll send them a message, hey, and if they don't accept, we won't send them anything. You could send them an email, but let's just, for the sake of this example, not put anything. So we've got a very basic list there. Now, the reason I'm getting onto this bit is because this is important. Of course, give your campaign a name, but what we do to maximize results for us is that we actually don't add the campaign if they don't have a photo. Right? So it says, do not add to the campaign if there's no photo on the lead's profile. This means that they're not usually active. If they don't have a profile picture on LinkedIn, they're not taking it seriously, so we don't want to contact them. Also, we would usually tick in less than 500 contacts. This depends slightly on the industry, but if it's in tech, sales, anything where they're going to be on LinkedIn, If they have less than 500 connections, it's a red flag. It means they don't really use it. So we're wasting our leads here, we're wasting our time. That's what we would tick. Obviously, I'll give this a name, test, if I can spell test correctly, and we'll save it and launch it. Great, so that's how to start a campaign from scratch. Now, if I go to this campaign, say we've already got one running, we just want to add leads in. It's very simple, we just click here, and what we'd do is we'd just press add leads here, and it'd be the same process, we'd upload that CSV file. So that's how to do it from start to finish, gathering your own data and putting it into the automation tool for effectively free and in less than, 11 minutes. So I hope that's useful.